Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 165 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news, as well as what we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my co-stars for this podcast.
My name is Craig, comfortably sitting at least near my Final Fantasy 16 copy.
My name is also Craig, the non-dominant Craig. Does that work?
I see what you did.
The left-handed Craig?
No, the
I
non-dominant.
see what you did. I see what you did.
That Craig over there is the dominant, and I forget what the other name is for the person who protects the dominant. I don't remember.
I wouldn't get these references. I wouldn't get these references.
We didn't even make it to the games. I'm sorry, Barry. We'll hold off.
The shield. Was it? Well, yeah.
Was it the shield?
Shield.
Yeah. Like
it's not the. It's not the bearer. Oh wait. Oh yeah, it's a shield.
Yeah. I am the shield, and Craig over there is the dominant. There we go.
I summon you is what I would say. I don't know. That's what happens.
What I'm now summoning up is the news. I'm going to summon up the news next.
Well done.
Yes. Summon up the segue.
This week is kind of a bunch of random stuff. We do have the Nintendo Direct. I've been reading a bunch of stuff from the FTC and Xbox, and the Kraven trailer. So first off, I guess we'll talk about the Nintendo Direct. What did you guys think?
For not having a Switch 2 on the way, it was good. It was good if you're a Mario fan as well. Like, yeah, I think that's what it was. It was like straight up Mario with a little Detective Pikachu in there, which didn't look good. In terms of graphics wise, it looked like it would be good game wise. I haven't played it, so I was kind of excited that it is an installment that's coming. But I kind of hoped that we might have seen something. I know that that's still naive and childish to maybe think that way, but I was kind of hoping that there would be a Switch announcement and some new hardware coming. But there was some really nice Mario stuff in there. Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Which is coming. I can't wait for that. I'll probably buy that. And then whatever the trippy Mario one is that I was hoping that we would talk about. Yeah. Wonders.
Yeah. Did you... So Super Mario Wonder or Wonders?
I think
just
you're right.
Wonder?
It's Wonder. I think it's Wonder.
Okay.
I think it's one Wonder, not two Wonders.
One Wonder.
I was excited because I enjoy that 2D style of Mario, like old school Mario, but it almost looked like a mobile game to me. I don't know what the art style is, but with Mario, it was very like flat. I don't know. It just seems like his animations, like when he was like jumping and hanging onto that rail, was like it was like a jump and then immediately just a holding onto the rail anime. It just looked very weird to me. And at first I was like, "Is this a mobile game?" And I was like, "No, this isn't a mobile game. This is like a full blown $60, maybe $70 Switch game."
Yeah,
I still want to play it though.
Yeah, as will I. I was gonna say, I think for the most part, like you're not wrong about it. I think because like phones nowadays can replicate, what the Nintendo Switch is doing for the most part. And especially if after you've played like something like Super Mario Run, the difference between probably Mario Run and Wonder here, there's going to be no difference graphically for the most part. So you're not wrong. The most mobile devices can do what the Switch is doing right now, if not more. Well, actually more. We know they can do more. So,
which is wild.
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's what we get for liking Nintendo games in my eyes. Some of the other mentions that I wanted to go through was a new Peach dedicated game coming out next year, a remake of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon from the 3DS. We're getting more Tears of the Kingdom amiibo with Zelda and Ganon. We have WarioWare Move It, and you mentioned Detective Pikachu. And more information on Pikmin 4 and 1 and 2 are available on the Switch store.
And the, what was that, Star Ocean?
Yeah, Star Ocean.
Is a remaster, a remake?
I don't know a lot about that. Game, even though, like, you look at that game and go, oh, that's a Barry game. That's for kind of deal.
But it is a Barry game.
It looks interesting, right? It looks more like an action RPG.
Yeah.
I want to check it out for sure. I've never played Star Ocean, I don't think. that I can
They're
remember.
classics.
Yeah. I feel like I may have played one for like an hour, but I have like no history with those games at all.
Neither do I.
Barry, if you had to buy one of the new Zelda amiibos, which one would you buy?
That's a tough question. I think I'd probably go. One's tough now knowing what I know with Tears of the Kingdom. I'd probably say Zelda. I'd go with Zelda. I like Ganon's one. Don't get me wrong. I do think it's
It
pretty
looks good.
generic though. I think
Yeah.
Zelda's is a little bit more better.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay. I really like Ganondorf, but I think that if I was sitting in front of them and I had like the cashier yelling at me or something to
Yeah,
like
you can
up
only buy one.
the intent, yeah, that you have to buy one right now. I would probably do Zelda. To be honest, I think I would cave, even though I'm saying Ganondorf first.
That's fair. I don't buy
Uh,
amiibos.
Yeah, the hard part will be getting them because it seems like a lot of people are trying to get them. So
Yeah,
good luck to anybody who's trying to get those amiibo. I will be in that cause there, but I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more difficult than I expect. Maybe even harder to get than the collector's edition for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I think my luck would run out with that because I was able to snag the collector's edition, and after we had our podcast last week, I definitely went Spider ham, I'll say, and I got the collector's edition of the new Spider-Man 2 coming out, and then I also pre-ordered the
Yay,
new
both of
Spider-Man.
us. Yeah,
But you
both of
guys are
Yeah,
us.
you guys are single-handedly keeping collector's edition market above water.
I know.
There we
I'm
go.
so ashamed.
Glad I can
I'm so
support
ashamed.
million-dollar businesses.
Yeah.
Glad I can support them.
Yeah.
It's the Venom statue, man. And we were talking about it, and I don't know. My
Both of
phone
our
was
Venom
there.
statues can fight now. That's what
There
we'll
you
do.
go.
We'll
Yeah,
just
yeah,
throw them. See who wins.
yeah. Which shout out, by the way, I know this is really off topic. Shout out to PlayStation directly for making it very easy sometimes to snag these things over other places. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
just a seamless system
Yeah.
in comparison to every other site. I
You are
bought
not
it
wrong.
I bought it in 5 minutes.
As he sips
Like
from a Spider-Man water
after
bottle.
yeah, as he sipped from a Spider-Man water bottle.
This is
Yes.
ridiculous. Spider-Gwen, sorry, that's pink.
Would you guys? Are you
It's a
guys
really good water
excited?
bottle.
It's a really. Are you guys excited? Like excited enough to play the Peach game like when it comes out, or
Yes.
is it like okay?
Depends on what it is. If it's like a 2D or a 3D, yeah. If it's something like a Captain Toad's Tracker, no. But they haven't
I
said,
think
right?
No,
no,
there was a very short trailer that really didn't show us anything.
Yeah.
yeah,
Based
except
on
that
what,
it's a Peach game.
yeah.
Fair.
But no, yeah, I'm all in. Give me a Peach game.
I'm with
Good.
it too. My wife was interested in it, so I'll just get it so we could
So
both play it. It's
we're also single-handedly keeping the Peach market afloat as well.
apparently,
Is what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
apparently,
You're the reason there's no Switch 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I know.
It's your fault.
Just
Oh,
back on
man.
like the Super Mario portion of things, like the RPG remake, I am excited for. I never played that game,
Yes.
and I know a
Ooh,
lot of people
yes.
love
Great
it.
game. Yep.
Super
Yep.
Mario RPG. So I am excited to play it.
Is it
Getting that-
on is it
finally
on
get
the
to
Switch
try it.
online?
That's a
Like
good
the SNE
question.
The SNES version? I never looked.
Don't have my Switch on me to
I didn't-
check.
I don't either. I feel like it
Me
might be.
neither.
I don't know. If it is, they're probably gonna take it off.
Probably.
I would think.
Oh yeah, at least for the meantime.
Mhm.
How do you guys feel about Pikmin? Do you guys like Pikmin? Is
I don't
Pikmin
care.
just
Not a Pikmin.
Yeah, I don't
Not a
care.
Pikmin guy.
I played the
I'm-
last one
Did you like it?
for like an hour.
Okay.
and
I
then
think I'm
never
gonna give
played it.
Pikmin 4 a shot. I
Okay.
vaguely remember playing like 1 or 2 for maybe an hour on the
Mhm.
GameCube, and then that was it. And then I never went back into the series. I saw what they're doing with Pikmin 4. It just seems like a chill game. I need more chill games in my life. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
that's what I need. Anything else you guys want to mention or talk about or anything like that?
From the Nintendo?
Yeah, from the direct.
Mm-mm.
Luigi's Mansion, excited for that too.
Sure.
I mean, I also didn't finish the last one, but it was good while I played it. It was it
I
was
couldn't
good.
tell
It
you
was
the
good
last
while I
Switch
played it.
game I beat, honestly. I know you guys have
Uh-oh.
Zelda, but like I don't think I've Mario Odyssey, maybe. I know I beat that. I can't think of anything else on my Switch I've beaten.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you probably
I
didn't
have
finish Pokemon or hated Pokemon.
I didn't finish it. Nope.
Fire Emblem
Um,
Engage? Did you? I know you
I
said
know
you didn't mind
I
that
didn't.
one.
I didn't. Nope. I didn't finish Mario Rabbids. Trying to think what else I have. Uh, yeah. I mean, like Mario Kart doesn't count. You don't beat that
You
game.
don't finish. Yeah, you don't finish
you
Mario
don't
Um,
Kart.
finish.
no, I don't think so because like I bought that Mario collection and I beat Mario 64 and then I started playing Sunshine and stopped.
Okay,
I just have
Oh,
a bad habit of not finishing Switch games. Real bad.
it sounds
I
like me and my general habit.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went through a wide range of emotions during that because I think that might be the last game that I beat would be the Odyssey Sunshine Collection
Hmm.
because I didn't beat. I have a bunch of half finished games on my Switch now that I think about it.
Yep.
Fire
And
Emblem,
probably,
I'm on like I didn't beat. Did you beat Fire Emblem, Barry?
yeah, duh.
I
He
mean,
probably immediately he beat it.
yeah, I'm still on like chapter like 17.
Oh
Um,
Jesus.
oh, I beat Metroid. Metroid Dread was the last Switch game,
I'm
maybe.
I'm trying to go all in. Look, I bought one
Yeah,
finally.
yeah,
So
they're
like
good controllers.
I got
They
my
are.
pro controller in the hopes that it would force me to beat Tears of the Kingdom. That was my thought. We'll see if it works.
Craig, the $1,000,000 question: have you beaten Tears of the
No,
Kingdom yet?
I even so
Oh
a
my
buddy of
god.
mine actually asked me the same thing from work, and I found out that I accidentally went ahead a mission or two by exploring an area. Um, I don't know how to say it without ruining it. It's like essentially I should have went to not Kakariko Village, Lookout Landing, but I like didn't. I explored a certain area first in the sky, and I like set forth a main mission without realizing it. And like my buddy was like, "How did you even do that? I didn't know where to go after I went to Lookout Landing. They're very vague." And I was like, "I don't know. I just was looking around, which is why I'm still playing the game accidentally." So that's the long answer. The short answer is no, I have not beaten it, but it seems like if I put 2 hours in or 3 hours just mainlining it, I could,
Okay.
but I won't.
He's never gonna beat it.
Yeah, no, that's right.
It's so
I'm convinced
good.
you're not going to beat it.
Oh my god.
It's so good though. It's so good.
If it's
Anyway,
good, you
sorry.
can beat it.
It is. I mean that's a good point.
So what
Oh
I'll do
man.
next is do you guys have any thoughts about the Craven trailer? I looked at this and I went, what is this?
I mean,
I
I'm
like the
assuming
actor.
he's gonna show up in Venom, right? Or
You-
because he's a Sony, it's like a Sony movie, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming, I mean, I'm all for it if it's going to set up a Sinister Six, right? Like if that's where
Ooh
we're
yeah.
going, like cool. I'm okay with that. You got Craven in the movies, you got Craven coming in the video game. They're really pushing Craven for some reason. It looks fine. I'm not like overly excited for it. I
It's
feel like
Craven time.
it's gonna be like Venom. You're gonna watch it and be like, that was a movie.
Yeah, and then we're gonna find out it makes gajillions of dollars, despite the fact it being like
I don't
subpar
think
at
it's
the
going
most.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it's
it's like
gonna
the
be
first Venom
mediocre.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Well, yeah, the first one.
everybody knows Venom. How many people like know Craven?
Yeah, it's true.
Not
To
very
be
many,
honest,
I wouldn't think.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for me, lastly is going to be the FTC stuff here. So, and here, like, I gotta whip out. I
Yeah.
should say that.
Get the encyclopedia out.
I have to get the link. I have to get the link out here because it's terribly far too busy for me.
Yeah.
So, main thing from all of this is that Phil Spencer admits they've lost the console war, so it's a win for Sony. They admit that Sony is an aggressive competitor.
Mhm.
one of the things that led to Microsoft buying Activision was after hearing that Starfield was going to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
That
Wild.
is that is
That's
big.
huge. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
huge.
Um, he would not confirm that Elder Scrolls 6 is an Xbox exclusive, and he continues, and they it's funny reading all this stuff because it feels like the lawyer knows nothing about video games, and like the Sony guy sent him, here's a question we need you to answer,
Yep.
because the lawyer for the FTC came and said, like, under oath, will you say that Call of Duty is not going to be exclusive to PlayStation? And then Phil Spencer, pretty much said, no, we don't plan on it, but it depends on what Sony like is trying to make us do or
Yeah.
agree with them, kind of deal there. So it's a ton of stuff. What I will tell you is I've been getting all of my information from TheVerge.com. They have a really deep thread if you want to see more about what kind of happened with all of the FTC hearings. It is kind of crazy how much like we're hearing about it now as well. Main thing and other things here is I'm just trying to see. Microsoft did try to buy Zynga
Right.
as well. That was the other thing. And it was because they were trying to be bigger in mobile gaming, but then that led to them acquiring Take-Two instead. So it's all of this kind
Okay.
of different stuff back and forth. Phil Spencer continues to put into it and say that, Xbox's rivals have more exclusives. So
Yep.
we're just doing what they're doing as well, kind of deal there. Because
That's
they even
that's
mentioned,
my that's my favorite thing where they're like, it's almost like Sony's like, that's not fair. They're gonna have exclusive, and I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
You guys not have like this huge catalog of exclusives you've been pumping out, and Microsoft hasn't had any, and now they're complaining that it's not fair? What about all the people who only have an Xbox and want to play Spider-Man, or the
Last
millions
of
of
Us.
others, Final Fantasy, The Last of Us, all this stuff? Like, you don't care about that, but now all of a sudden you do, because you may not have Call of Duty or something, like, I don't know. It's so funny.
Yeah, it goes to the money wars,
Hmm.
because all of those titles are single player amazing adventures and such like that. But Call
Yep.
of Duty just brings in money, brings it in. So
yeah, it
I
rakes
don't
it
know,
in, really.
Hmm.
rakes it in. Um, the sinister side of me now just kind of wants Starfield to flop because of just all of this buzz. We've gotten like an hour. What was that? Hour and a half of that Starfield direct. Was it an
About
hour?
an hour and a
About
half.
we
Hmm.
got about an hour and a half of the Starfield direct. Now hearing that was what pushed Microsoft into purchasing Bethesda because they found out like that of all things, that was going to be an exclusive. And like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but like I like want the carnage of like you like ourselves coming in September to do the podcast after Starfield comes out, and we say something like, "Look out, Redfall!
Yeah.
Starfield is here to stay. Look out, Gollum! Starfield is here to stay." And I think I just want that for the not just the talking points, but just for the carnage. But it's
You know
just
what?
it's just really funny.
It's wild to me is that the whole Starfield thing, like last year, go back last year, or even when they first announced Starfield, almost everybody in the world, including us, they announced it and they're like Xbox exclusive. And I think all of us were like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. And then that trailer comes out last year and they're like Xbox exclusive. And everybody, including Sony's like, you can have it. This looks terrible. But now that it's starting to look good, Sony's like, that's not fair. You can't have it. Your exclusives can't be good. That's how I look at it, is them like, they didn't care until it started looking good. And they're like, oh, wait, hold
Mhm.
on a minute. Hold up. You if it's good, you can't have it. If it's bad, you by all means take that. Or if it's like something like a hi-fi rush that isn't going to make a ton of money, you can have it. But if it's like a
Yeah.
Starfield making millions of dollars, you can't have it anymore. No, it's not fair. Only PlayStation gets those, or Nintendo.
Yeah. But you know what? Here's what I wanted to say real quick. Despite all of that and Xbox still not having an amazing catalog of exclusives, I looked at my Game Pass today and I saw a game that I still wanted to play every at least 2 months. just because it was free. Like I'm gonna I'm looking at it right now. I want to check out Bramble. I want to check out Starfield, Lies of P. I don't have to buy anymore because that's Game Pass. I'll give Payday 3 a whirl, and then Persona 5 Tactica. I
Plus
like
the
it.
You got it.
3
Yeah.
remastered.
Still justifies. Like it still justifies, and I don't know. I just had to say that as well because I still think Microsoft. We talk about it, Game Pass's worth to the gamer, the standard gamer. So like they still just like have that game down flat at least, to Microsoft's benefit.
Yeah.
So
That's all I have for news, though. How about you guys?
All right. I'm going to tie right into Starfield. I'm going to go right
Okay.
into it.
Look at that
Go
segue.
ham.
Segue after
Yeah.
segue here.
Starfield
Yeah.
will not have a physical disc in any version
Why would I
whatsoever.
read this? Huh.
Yeah. Not that it matters for most people because you're going to be downloading it on Game Pass. But if you go to the store for whatever reason and decide that you want to buy the box of Starfield, there's no disc in there. So interesting choice.
Why do we do this?
Interesting choice.
I can.
I mean, I guess I look at it as like maybe they're thinking everybody's going to download it on Game Pass anyway. So why go through the effort of printing any discs? But I still don't agree with that.
I don't.
If you're going to put a box on the shelf for somebody to pick up, it should have a disc in there, even if it's just 800 megs on that CD. That's basically authorizing that you purchased it, and you still have to download it. When you put it in, you should still put a disc in there.
Yeah.
If you were going to create a watch that somebody can buy based off a game that you are pumping so much money and publicity into, can you give them a disc when they go to the store to buy it?
But that's almost every collector's edition now, right? No disc.
Yeah,
It
like
is.
I absolutely disagree with all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We talk about this all the time, but this one makes me mad for some reason. I don't know above other ones.
I'm trying to think of other things, other games that didn't have. I know I bought those Apex Legends versions.
Yep.
I bought one of those and that didn't have a disc in it.
Fortnite.
Yeah. I feel like there's more I'm missing, but it's been like kind of few and far between. But there has been issues of this before where there wasn't a disc. But I don't remember what they were. But
trying to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember which ones they were, but I can't.
We're still sticking with Microsoft here. Some other things that I saw from this. Elder Scrolls 6 still 5+ years away. 2028 at the earliest is what they're saying. I'm not a huge Elder Scrolls fan, so I'm just kind of like, all right, whatever. When it comes out, I'll try it. But if you're a huge Elder Scrolls fan, man, how many years is it from between Skyrim and if this comes out in 2028 though? Hold on, it was the release date for Skyrim was all the same number. Was it 2011? It might be. But anyway, that's a long time. And then also tied in with that was that Microsoft expects new consoles in 2028 as well. So I'm assuming Elder Scrolls is probably a launch title for them.
Yeah, I guess I guess we got to hold off. Got to hold off on buying all new consoles now. Just wait for the next one.
Oh no. Yeah.
And also in there as well, what I thought was kind of interesting was he was talking about the Series X and the Series S, and that they consider the Series X the upgraded version, basically implying that there would never be a Series X Pro. It was just kind of like, this is our Pro version and the S is your normal version. So like you aren't going to see like the PS5 Pro. You're not going to see that with Xbox. They're going to stick with the Series X until 2028, I guess. Is my Xbox going to last that long?
I think it will. They seem to do a lot better than they used to.
Yeah. How long have we had them now? I bought mine the day it came out. What year was that? 2019, 18? So 10 years probably?
Oh, no.
No.
It was like 20.
It had to have been 2019 or 2020. They came out during COVID.
Did they?
Yeah.
I think the
2020.
I think the PlayStation I thought came out right before COVID. like the November before COVID.
Maybe Barry's looking
Because
it up.
I remember pre-ordering it,
Mm-hmm.
and we and I,
2020.
is it 2019?
2020.
No, it's
2020?
2020. It's the
Darn,
year
okay.
I tore my Achilles. I literally pulled out the hospital wristband that I
Oh,
have. That's
There
why
you
I
go.
remember it.
nice.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. So 2020. So 8 years. You think these consoles? I think mine will last 8 years.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. And then the last thing I have, the Metal Gear Solid collection coming out. If you go on their website, some people did some digging, and
Lots of digging.
they found some placeholders for the Metal Gear Solid collection Volume 2, including Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, and Peace Walker from the PSP. I don't know about you guys, but the idea of playing Metal Gear Solid 4 on my Xbox would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because you have to play it on PS3. That's the only way you can play
Yep.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yep.
And it is one of the best Metal Gear Solids.
I don't know about that.
I will try.
I was about to say, yeah.
I don't
We
know
know
about
this.
that.
We've
I don't know
known
about
this.
that.
It is. It's
1, 2,
I'm
and
telling you
3
right
would,
now.
would beg to differ, but okay.
This is what I'm saying right now. This is, and like, please feel free to hate all you want, anybody listening or watching. It
If
goes
you want to
Metal
watch
Gear.
instead of play, then Metal Gear Solid 4 is for you.
No, it's Metal Gear Solid original.
Yep.
Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots.
No.
Yes, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, and
You're
then
so
Metal Gear
off.
Solid 2, Sons of no, that is it. That is it. Start
right.
to finish.
It's 1, 3, 2,
No.
5,
Nope.
and then 4.
Oh, we're putting 5.
And then it's Ground
5
Zeroes,
over
and
4?
then it's 4.
5's better than 4.
No, it's not.
4, you might as well just call a movie, a TV series.
There's a lot of cutscenes. They're tying things in. They're tying a saga together.
No.
They are tying a.
No.
I'm just
The only
the
good thing that came out of Metal Gear Solid 4 was the backwards compatible PS3. That's the only thing.
I'm gonna breathe. I'm gonna breathe.
Metal Gear Solid 4 is where the series lost me, honestly, because I was like, Metal Gear Solid's like the best series, one of the best series of all time, and then 4 came out, and I went, maybe it's not.
See, for me, and I don't know why I was this impressionable as a kid, but for me, 3 lost me because I wanted to see the continuation of Solid Snake's saga, and I had to wait till 4.
Yep.
Not that I don't like the like the whole boss like timeline, the fact that it's like the first game and it like precedes even Metal Gear.
Right.
But like I wasn't ready for a prequel when 3 came out. I wanted to continue Snake. I wanted to see more of Raiden. But more so Snake.
Yeah, let's be honest. Resurgence is probably the best Metal Gear.
I forgot about Resurgence. That's very good. Yeah.
That's a very good game.
I might take that over 2 and 3. Honestly. Yeah. So maybe the first game, then Resurgence.
I just don't know if we count that one just because it is kind of the off-branded one of like any off-brand Metal Gear game that's ever been.
As long as you don't count Survive, we're good.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I haven't even played. I won't play that. Resurgence, and correct me if I'm wrong, probably had one of the most outlandish and awesome boss battles in the entire Metal Gear franchise. Maybe even that year or that couple years span for every game, because that dude at the end,
the president,
was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, that's all I have. I'll throw it over.
I'm glad I can remind us about Resurgence. I'm glad.
I mean,
thank
I
you
need
for
to play
that.
it again.
That game is memed to death. It's hilarious.
It is.
I have 2.
Okay.
One of them is a surprise to me that so we all know about the highly televised and followed Ocean Gate submarine thing that went on. Very tragic to hear what happened, but also obviously there's a questionable aspect with the construction. We're not that type of podcast, so I won't get into it. But there is in Grand Theft Auto 5 as of June 22nd a submarine that is a fan mod that you can download in the game and pilot it. And I thought that was freaking interesting. Now, the internet has not really. The internet has no
Right.
shame, so
They have
No.
not
obviously
been
there's
fined.
memes. Yes,
No.
there's memes and all types of like negative stuff that have come out making fun of it about Ocean Gate in general and all the many things that you could possibly pick at. But I thought it was hilarious that like on Thursday of this past week, you could get a likeness submarine in Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
I saw it and I went, you know what? That makes sense that they already have one.
Yeah, people
And-
just have too much time on their hands. Like
Mhm.
somebody's been painstakingly working for that model just for like enough time for us to figure out, okay, this is what happened to Ocean Gate Submarine. And now here you go, you can play it.
Yep.
You can play it in the game. Not like the waters are that deep in Grand Theft Auto anyway. Like
yeah,
No,
that's
nothing
true.
crazy. It's not like it's
true.
a submarine simulation game. That's what we're missing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Minecraft, we've got flight simulator. We need submarine
Give it
simulator.
a couple months. Somebody will have one out.
Ooh, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
guarantee it. Yep.
I think Microsoft like just licensed me, dude. Submarine simulator that just rolls right off the tongue.
It does.
It does. It
Yep.
does. And if they put half the work as they do in the flight simulator, that would be
Yeah, it'd be cool.
that'd be a time. That would be.
I'd play it.
It'd
I would
probably be
play it
fun.
before flight simulator. Uh,
Yeah. It depends. Can I go see the Titanic in it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Seems safer
too
option,
soon.
right?
Too soon.
Yes, much safer. No, much safer. That is true.
Then
Much
everybody
safer.
could go see it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
The other one that I had, and this is like I kind of wanted to bring it up as a talking point because of the space that the three of us occupy. Recent or popular Fortnite streamer Tfue recently decided to take a long hiatus away from streaming. Um, when you are that monetized as he is, obviously that's taking a big step. It's not like you're a musical artist and deciding not to do an album for a year or something like that. Literally, your followers drop like the second you decide to go on vacation or do anything like that. So he was citing the grind, like it just being exhausting. And I think I don't want to misquote him, but it was essentially that he wanted to he used gaming as an escape from reality, and now he's using reality as an escape from gaming is essentially loosely what he said. And I thought that was an interesting quote because like I think that we're blessed, the three of us. Are we making millions of dollars right now? No. But
God, I wish.
like we play games heavily in our spare time, and then we get to meet as friends and discuss them for a couple hours each day. And this gentleman is like mansion level in terms of that, but he decided that at his young age to take a step back. And I was wondering, like, because I know, like, we all know Tfue
Mhm.
or know of Tfue, even though we don't, even if we do or do not watch his stream. But I found that quite interesting for him when you have people like Doctor Disrespect, which is a whole separate can of worms we could talk about at some point. Is doing it in his like 40s. I think he's at his 40s at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like
40s.
it's just it's an interesting thing. I wanted to know what you guys thought possibly about just what the effects mentally are of literally playing games with people watching you for profit, because I know we've talked about it being our dream job would be.
Mhm.
But then you see something like this. So, I don't know. I just thought I'd ask that.
Um, I think you see it a lot more now where people are burnt out. I know specifically, like you mentioned, Doctor Disrespect. Like he hates Call of Duty now. But you get to that point where it's like you're trapped because when you look at the numbers and you're like, well, I get the most viewers when I play Call of Duty, but I hate playing Call of Duty, but I'm still going to play Call of Duty for 9 hours and just absolutely hate my life. It's the same for him, right? He probably is like, I'm so sick of Fortnite, but that's what brings in the viewers. And if I change to a different game, I'm going to lose those viewers and money. I get the feeling that you're like, man, I'm trapped. I don't even like this game anymore. Where like I think it's a good caution for people who want to stream is like, hey, maybe variety is the way to go now.
Yeah.
And not just be like, this is the one game I'm good at. I'm only going to play this for 6 years, 8 hours a day, 8 to 12 hours a day. I would hate
Yeah.
my life too. Even if I was making
Yes.
millions of dollars, I'd be like, dude, this is awful. I couldn't play. I'm trying to think of like a game. I could not play Apex for 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. I would lose my mind. So I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
for
know.
the most
It's
part too, I do want to just mention, like, I think a lot of it also has to do with just like the way, like, for us, it's for us, like, we don't make any money, we just do it for fun. But yeah,
Hmm.
like playing, and it's also like in when I'm, surprise to everybody, I used to kind of stream when I had time. I wish I had a more reliable way of streaming, but it's also putting on a persona,
Hmm.
putting on entertainment. It's exhausting.
Yep.
It like, and I can only imagine what these guys have to do, especially like for someone like Doctor Disrespect, who's playing a literal persona.
Yep.
Like, how many times does that leak into real life, or how many times do any of these guys? They just, a lot of gamers are mostly shut-ins in a way where we would rather just like play a game by ourselves, be with ourselves. But the moment you're streaming, you have to dedicate your time to paying attention to chat. If you're big enough, like your mods are, you got to pay attention to your mods and what they're doing and what's going on with stream, and making sure you don't breach any terms of contract and anything like that. it
Yeah.
There's a lot more
well,
that
yeah,
goes into it that's probably a lot more exhausting. And I think a lot of that also has to do with people taking these big, kick.com, the
Yeah.
now rival streaming service,
yeah,
them taking away Twitch streamers for these gigantic bags of money. I think, and a lot of it has to probably do because Twitch's guidelines are now so tight, and you have to be afraid that you're not going to do anything wrong, where Kick seems to be a lot more of a friendlier one, when you can do gambling on the site without any issues. They've now stolen Amaranth, a very
Yeah.
popular streamer as
they did.
well. And
And
now she does.
XQC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and both of them don't have to maybe worry about going against Twitch guidelines. I'm interested to see year over year how many people decide to follow those streamers over to Kick, because it
Yeah.
seems as though they do a really good job of giving streamers a better revenue cut. And if this opened things up for maybe smaller streamers on Twitch, like, I'll admit I don't watch Twitch nearly as much as I used to, but I also don't watch a lot of live streams really
Right.
anymore. That was a big thing for me during COVID, but not as
I
much
watch
anymore.
on I
That's
watch
very,
YouTube.
yeah.
I
Yep.
kind of migrated over there when Dr. Disrespect went over to YouTube, and he's
Yeah,
involved to
same.
go over to Kick now as well. So
Yeah.
like I don't really watch anything on Twitch anymore. The people that I follow on Twitch, almost all of them will upload after they're done on YouTube anyway. So I'll just
Exactly.
watch it on YouTube, and I don't even bother with Twitch anymore, really.
I I do the same thing, Craig.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I just watch it on YouTube.
Yep. And then I can kind of like skim through if I'm not interested in a part. Or, like most people, like Dr. Disrespect, the first 40 minutes is him just randomly talking anyway. I'm like, yeah, just, you know what I mean?
Speed,
I don't need that.
momentum.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Kick seems like the place to go for now. Twitch
Yeah.
seems, I don't want to say it's a dying platform. It's not, but they're certainly losing a ton of top names.
Yeah, it answers the age-old question, what happens when there's not a monopoly?
Yep.
You know what I mean? What happens
Mhm.
when somebody rises up and says like, "Hey, you can't do this, like just
Yeah.
you," because then all of a sudden all the restricting stuff and the rules and such like that, that's how you it's just what happens,
Yep.
what happens.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, but good
And
luck to
now,
Tifu.
yeah. And now what we'll get into is what happens for us when, darn it, I messed that up. Games we played this week. Sorry, guys. I messed up the transition.
It was a
I'm
good
just going.
attempt. He's
Yeah.
still struggling. Reasons that will become clear in a minute. He's not having
Yeah.
a good time, so we'll give you a
Yeah.
pass.
Games this week for me is Crash Team Rumble.
Okay.
All right.
Games for me this week. Sorry, Barry. Final Fantasy 16.
I'm just laughing.
Sonic Origins Plus, and I wanted to talk very briefly about the Veil. But that's what I played this week.
Just I'm sorry.
He's so upset.
If you could just rewind back to Barry announcing his games of the week and the voice he
Just
had.
Crash Team Rumble. It's like he played it. He didn't even want to play that game, but he wanted to play something.
Okay. Games this week for me. Believe it or not, gentlemen, I did finish a game. It's not
Hey.
Tears of the Kingdom. I
Oh.
Yeah,
finished Jedi.
we've already figured that out.
Yes, I finished Jedi Survivor.
Okay.
I played Ravenloke because I talked about it
Yep.
last week. Remember when I was like, "Oh, I wish I had played that game instead," and
Yep.
I didn't after I beat it. And then Final Fantasy 16 are my
Okay.
three.
Sweet.
So let's see here. I guess I'll talk about Crash Team Rumble. That's what I'll
Sure.
open up with.
Everybody's
Crash.
waiting.
Yeah, this is the. I know everybody's excited for Crash Team Rumble. I
Mhm.
will admit I got this because I bet my friend, and my friend won the bet, so I decided to buy it. Overall, it's actually not a terrible game. It is $30 for the base game, $40 for the deluxe edition. The main theme of this, it is a team based, it's a team based Crash Bandicoot game, is I guess what I'm gonna call it. Uh, there are different archetypes of classes, whether it's attacker, bruiser, or no, it's scorer, bruiser, and then what's the other one? Darn it, I can't remember. Regardless, there's three different tiers of classes. You create a team of five, and then your goal is to collect as many Wampa fruits as you can and deposit them into your goal. First one to 2,000 wins. There are boosts. There are field hazards that your team can activate. Blah 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 blah. I do wish the game was as the game is right now. I do wish it was a bit more inexpensive. I do believe that this game maybe should be around $15 to $20 instead of 30. And it's just because like there's no lack of maps. There's a ton of maps, but there's a total of like I think there's four, three. I think there's seven or eight like characters you can pick from. There isn't a lot, and there's one game mode, which is the one game mode that I just mentioned to you to play with, and like it just feels like I'm investing money right now to what could be a potentially fun game. I do enjoy the bit that I've played by myself and with my friend. This is a very like colorful, and especially like taking a break from like Call of Duty, it is a very non-serious game, where everyone's yelling at each other and things like that. In Call of Duty, this really isn't that. It's more about being a team player in some cases, collecting your fruit and defeating the other team and winning. It is a fun competitive game. I just don't feel like there's a lot there. Like unless you're playing with your buddies, if you're playing this by yourself for the sake of love for the Crash Bandicoot series, I don't think there's a lot there. There's a battle pass where you can put hats on your Crash Bandicoot associated characters or make them 8-bit or like there's a bunch of customizability that you can put to it. I just don't feel like really this game there isn't a lot there yet. If it tracks to be more of a maybe there's going to be multiple modes or more characters are put in, I definitely think this game can make its niche in like a competitive team based market where we have a lot of those games right now. A lot of people love Crash Bandicoot. uh
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
it is
For
something
sure.
that a lot of people deeply enjoy and want to see more of, and I think this is them trying to expand their range rather than just a single player puzzle or adventure game that the regular Crash Bandicoot series is. So just keep that in mind. Maybe if it's on sale you decide to go for it. Just overall it is a fun game. I just really wish there was more. There is not a lot in this game, and because it's one game mode, it can be you can very easily find yourself bored, most
Hmm.
likely.
I found.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say I lost interest when I found out it wasn't Crash Bash again. That's
Yep.
that's just my 2 cents. That's what made me not want to try it at all. Um, is that just do Crash Bash
That's
again?
exactly what I said too. Because I was like, I love Crash Bandicoot. Love Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash Team Racing. And I was like, oh, is this Crash Bash? We're going to complete the cycle here. And I was like, oh, it's not. Never mind. I'm out. But I mean, Crash is basically like Mario, right? They just make a million different types of games and see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
At first, when I first thought, I was like, oh, is this like their answer to like a Mario Party? But no,
No.
no, it is
No,
not.
it is not.
That's fair. Okay. Let me talk about the Veil real quick, and then we could do Final Fantasy if you want.
Yeah.
So the Veil is another game that's games with gold, so it's free this month. I just wanted to point it out because I don't think I've ever played a game like this before. You're playing as it's basically kind of like an RPG, but your character she's blind. So there is no visuals in this game at all. It's all audio, which is very, very cool. So like when you start the game and stuff, like it was definitely made for people who are blind to still be able to play a game. Like it'll read the entire main menu out to you when you're going down. And while you're playing, it'll do like little patterns on the screen. But putting headphones on and like even the intro where it's teaching you how do you attack, it's literally like, okay, um where's the person? I can hear them. They're off to the left, so I'm going to swing to the left. It's almost fun to like just completely close your eyes and just listen and like do it that way. It's really cool.
Hmm.
Is it a game I'm going to like completely play through? Probably not, but like the idea is so cool. I was like, I've never seen a game like that before, ever. And I like when they try new stuff. So if that sounds interesting to people, definitely check it out. Even if it doesn't, I would suggest it's free right now. Just download it and try it.
It's
It's a really,
free.
yeah, it's on Games with
Okay.
Gold. It's a really
Oh,
small
that's right.
download. I think it's less than a gig. And you can just kind of see what it's about. But the audio is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
Final Fantasy. Barry, what do you think of Final
Let's
Fantasy?
You
yeah,
know,
let's start with Barry.
guys, I'd love to join you in this
Yeah.
conversation.
Mhm.
As we mentioned before, how long it would take to beat Final Fantasy, it looks like it's going to take me a little bit longer due to the fact that I unfortunately don't have the game yet. Uh, Due to a supplier, I will not mention. My game left the station. I'll call it
The
uh,
station.
on a Tuesday. On a Wednesday, there was a traffic accident, according to UPS's detail. So it was sent back to the original train station. It has now been sent to somewhere a closer train station by me. But the last notification I have is from yesterday at 4 a.m. telling me that due to operating conditions, your package may be delayed.
uh,
I was
okay.
probably the most excited for Final Fantasy
Yeah.
16 out of all of us, and leave it to
Yeah, you
me
were.
to have to be patient and wait.
Is it the deluxe
It's
edition?
testing. Yes, it is. Or else I would have already bought. I would have bought the disc already. I would have bought it physically and
Yeah.
done it already. But I wanted the deluxe edition. I thought the steel book was cool. I thought the little pluses I get for it are nice. I was unfortunately humbled by the fact that bad luck follows me everywhere, and any game I order off of this particular train station can never seem to arrive on time.
Yep.
Train
That's
station.
like we've crested the hill of on convenience of ship to home, and now everybody's like, let's go back to picking up in store
For
because
real.
shipping is so unreliable now. All right, so I'm about factoring in the demo that we all played. I'm about 5 hours in. How many hours do you have in? Do you think, Craig? I'm sure he has more.
8 to 10.
Jeez, this guy puts in work. Okay.
It's a
Um,
great game.
Here's what I'm gonna say first and foremost. My first opinion on this game: this is not a Final Fantasy game at all. Um, I don't hate the game. I have issues with the game. The story is good. Uh, the battles are good. The vistas are pretty. But this is not what I want out of a Final Fantasy game. This is something else. It's Game of Thrones, pretty much. Um, it plays fine. Like I'm enjoying playing it. I still think like that part that we all played in the demo, I think is slow. Like that's a slow
Yeah.
intro. And then right after that was another slow intro for me where I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. But I feel like I'm starting to pick up speed now. Had a couple boss battles, had a nice icon battle, which was pretty sweet. That was cool. Like
Yes.
obviously that's where the highlight is. I still think they're too simple. Like I just feel like I'm doing quick time events for these big gigantic battles. it almost like it's not quite to that level of Metal Gear problem for me where I'm watching cutscenes, but it's close. Where it's like, all right, that like the one boss battle I did, it was like, all right, this is a pretty standard. I have attack, I have range attack and dodge. And then when I got the boss down to a certain thing, it just became another 10-minute cutscene where I'm pressing square R1 every once in a while as it does damage. I like it looks cool and I get what they're going for. It's just like huge spectacle. And my PlayStation has not caught on fire. I don't know about yours, but I've seen a lot of people smoking. Have not had that issue. Um, but like the I don't know, it seems so different from what I'm used to in a Final Fantasy game, that I'm not hating it, but I'm struggling calling it a Final Fantasy. Like I almost wish they would have called it something else.
I see where you're coming from.
Yep.
I think Final Fantasy 15, I know I joked about it like before stream, but I think it was the preamble to what to expect
Mm-hmm.
in this game. The battling is great. I think it starts off a little slow with the battling because you don't have all the abilities
Right.
unlocked. I found myself spamming square,
Yep.
dodging, and such like that, but it does open up a little bit, especially after like maybe the 7th hour, depending on how fast you're playing.
Mm-hmm. Only
Um,
7 hours in.
Yeah, only
Only.
7 hours.
only 7.
Yeah.
Only. Yeah.
It is like a Game of Thrones storyline, and I'm okay with that because I haven't watched Game of Thrones or read it in a bit. Um, I do enjoy that aspect. As far as your companions, you do have like your dog.
Yeah.
Um, but then the game,
Portal.
Yeah.
yes, but that you also have like a companion, at least for the 10 hours that I played, like 80% of the time, like a human. So
Yeah.
like, while
Every
it's
once in a
not
while they'll
somebody that,
take them from you though and
yeah,
make you battle by yourself.
and where it does differ is you don't level them up. You
Right.
don't have any like intimate control over that. Um, the icon battle, great. Did the
Mm-hmm.
first big one, did the first big boss battle. What I'm finding is, aside from that boss battle, not the icon one, but the boss one that you do, the game's not tough.
Mm-mm.
It's not a tough game, and I can't do anything worse right now than action oriented versus story oriented. Um,
Right.
like I don't want to make the game too tough for me, but like it's not at the difficulty level. And I guess not every Final Fantasy really is in the beginning game. I don't know why I'm commenting on that, because not it's not like
I
it's not
haven't
like the other
died at
Final.
all yet. Have you?
No.
Yeah.
I actually technically died in the demo
Okay.
when Ifrit and or Ifrit and oh my god, Phoenix are battling, because I didn't there's like a section where you have to shoot the projectiles. We all played the demo. So
Yeah.
like where you have to shoot the projectiles. I like didn't shoot it correctly. So I just started at the beginning when they were doing their little
Okay.
dance in that like area. But anyway, there's already things that they're alluding to in the story which are kind of telegraphed, um, which I'm okay with, but I'm engrossed enough. Here's where I'll tell you they are doing something correctly. They are really not shoving side quests down your throat early
No.
on.
Mm-mm.
And I love that. And people were worried about the lack of the open world and like the more linear with semi-open world being introduced. Give me more of that. I'm
Yep.
focused. The story is unveiling itself without me diverting and it becoming a Tears or any other particular game that does have just a basic open world kind of thing. The linear, I haven't even got to when you can even get a chocobo, or like they haven't even hinted at really the more open areas where like a chocobo is even needed. I like that. Get me
Mm-hmm.
there, teleport me to the next part. I did 2 side quests
Yeah.
that
I've
the
only
game
done
basically,
2 so far.
yeah, and they're literally like bring these here
Yeah. Real quick.
moments. So I know that there are,
Mm-hmm.
and there's going to be a plethora of them, but like they didn't shove it down your throat. So I don't know. The last thing I'll say in the opening hours is, winner of accessibility of the year might be this game though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different options that you can do. There's a lot of different things. I recommend looking at the settings when you start, because there is a mode that allows lock on to be better in terms of the enemies because of all the action going on around you. Sometimes your enemy will be behind you or something like that. There is a mode you can turn on so that if you're locked onto a specific enemy, if they are not on the screen, it kind of moves you so that you're still locked on, and you're fighting like 15 people at once sometimes, maybe like 10. I'm exaggerating, but
Mhm.
game looks great. It looks fantastic. I can't wait for the next boss battle. I can't wait to see everything that I can unlock with Clive. Clive is your standard protagonist. Some of
Dark
the
and brooding.
antagonists,
Yeah.
dark and brooding.
Jon Snow.
Yeah, Jon Snow. He has something that happened to him 10
Snake.
years ago. Jon Snow. Yeah.
Yep.
So it isn't a traditional Final Fantasy. I think I'm more okay with that than you are, Craig.
Yeah.
But let me put it this way: if we're judging by like how excited I am to play when I know I have free time available, like I can't wait to pick it up again. Like
Mhm.
even at this moment, I want to go back and I want to play it, and I want to play it all the way through. So,
That's
opening
fair.
thoughts.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. It's just I have to retrain these first couple hours. I'm like retraining my thoughts on this game and not being like, this isn't Final Fantasy. This is terrible. I'm just looking at it as like,
Mhm.
oh, this is an action RPG that's Square made, that has Final Fantasy elements sprinkled in. Is probably the best way to explain it.
Yeah,
I don't know. For me, Final Fantasy is that like alternate reality future, not like alternate reality medieval times. I just struggle
yeah,
with that. Like, I don't want that in a Final Fantasy. I think that's my opinion. That's where Final Fantasy games are at their worst, is that like medieval time. But the story is good. I'm not knocking the story at all. Like, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying all the characters. I haven't really seen a character yet that I'm like, oh, this person sucks or they're annoying. I even the enemies, like the boss, the one boss I've done was cool.
that was cool.
Very
Yeah,
cool villain, very cool boss. So
very
yeah,
cool villain, very cool boss. And then the last thing I'll say is they are doing Sid right
yes,
for once in this one. Sid has
Sid's
Sid,
great. Yeah,
Sid. So
and you can pet the dog. What else do you need?
pet the dog. There's no hand holding button though.
There
So
is no
Barry,
hand holding button. Sorry.
sorry, Barry.
There was gameplay released for that trailer earlier this gameplay released for that game earlier this week, and oh my god, I am not convinced.
You are so excited to play that game, huh?
No,
No.
I am excited to handhold. I am not excited to play. That's what
Got
it
it.
is.
Okay. And then just real quick, Sonic Origins Plus also came out this week, and this will get kind of buried. But I do want to kind of shout it out a little bit. It is Sonic 1, 2, 3. 3 is Knuckles, and Sonic CD, I think. They are not like remastered, but they're redone so that they completely fill your screen, or you can play them in original format. That like what is that, 16:9 or whatever.
So
Um,
16:9 is widescreen.
okay, so
Are you talking
whatever the
about like
old
four
style.
by three? Four
Yeah,
by three.
yeah, like the letterbox.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think it's a pretty cool. I love Sonic. Having all those games is nice. You can pick one to play, or you can do what they call like the story mode, where each game has like a nice little movie that they've done, animated movie, and then it takes you right into the first game, and then when you're done, you'll get the animated movie for the second one, and you can just play right through that way. So I
Mhm.
think it's a nice little collection to have. There's a ton of like extras. There's music, artwork, all that stuff that you like from that kind of collection. So I think it's a very good, well done collection, but it's gonna get forgotten because it came out Final Fantasy week. So
Yeah.
if you can find this one, I don't know how much it is normally, but if you can find this one for like $20 in a couple months, I would say pick it up if you like Sonic.
That sounds like a good price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is good. All right, so Ravenloke.
Yeah. Did you give up on it?
No, I beat it. It's like a 3 hour game. It's like a 3 or 4 hour game. It's
Mm-hmm.
Alice in Wonderland. It's an action RPG. It's fine. If you want, Barry, you were just mentioning that you need like a chill game. If you want a chill game that you won't die once in an action RPG,
Mm-hmm.
play this game. It's free. girl is moving in with her parents, normal girl. They move on a farmland. She gets sucked into what is essentially Alice in Wonderland. There's even a rabbit right when you get down there to start.
As one does.
Um,
Yeah.
Best part of the game is the combination of the graphic style with pixelated art. Certain things are pixelated in the game and mesh well with the standard
Yep.
3D graphics that are put in there. That makes it look nice. The Queen of Hearts essentially is the main villain. She takes over the magical land. You got to help them get their magic back. There is an attack button, a dodge button. You get 4 things that you learn throughout the game that are all mapped on the top buttons of your Xbox controller if that's what you're using. It's just a very easy game. It was really chill to play. The side quests are not anything special. The hardest one is collecting 18 of one item throughout the entire game, which are very easy to find. You have the white rabbit. You have it's just an easy game. It's good
Yeah.
for somebody who doesn't want it's like if you have a long day at work and you don't want to play Final Fantasy 16 because of how intricate it is and you just want to play something chill, play this game. It's free on Game Pass. That's it. Jedi Survivor. I know this is it's not a new game compared to everything else we've been talking about, but I just have 2 things that I want to say about it. It might be one, maybe I'll forget the second thing, but I beat it and the ending wasn't for me. In my mind, there is a 2 boss prior that should have got flipped. And I don't know how that would have worked in the story, but like it was fine, but it wasn't for me. I think that they could have done something differently, or like if that's where they were going, that they add something after that to who you have to fight. But I like the classic Star Wars. In Star Wars, there's always some type of turn. There's always some type of who's working for who. There's always treachery, but
Debauchery.
debauchery. There's always bamboozlement
Yep.
and malarkey, but it just didn't work for me. And to be honest with you, I got so tired of the side quests. That's how I was able to beat the game. I was like, look,
Yep.
Final Fantasy 16 is coming out on Thursday. I ended up getting it on Friday. Sorry, Barry, but I felt I could still complain a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was
None of us
Complain.
got it on Thursday.
yeah. Oh yes. By the way, viewers, listeners, none of us got it actually on the day it was
Mine showed up
released.
on Friday as well.
So I told myself on Monday after beating Ravenloke, believe it or not, I was like, I have 3 days left. I have a couple of hour spans before Thursday happens. I was like, just beat it. So I picked it up. I streamlined it, at least the main story. I'm glad I did so that I could say I beat another game and that I beat Survivor and that I could be ready for the next installment. But like, I just wasn't feeling the ending.
You know what's
And
wild? I can't for the life of me remember what the ending is. And I've been trying so hard since you started talking. I don't remember. And I beat it. And it was like, what, a month ago? I couldn't even tell you what the ending was. I remember the twist, but like it didn't stick with me. I'm blanking. Barry, did you beat it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the ending is.
I still remember it.
Okay, I don't.
If you need a refresher, they make it to the planet.
Oh yeah, you're right. I remember. See, like,
you just needed that little
Yeah.
tiny
It was so it's like unremarkable in my opinion. Just kind of a meh.
I was gonna say something about the ending not boding well with me.
Oh, nah.
There you go. Anyway,
stuff we watched. Stuff we
Mhm.
watched.
There
Because
we go.
Survivor, let's well, I'm done with it.
I do agree with you. Everything was for me like it is really good just until that kind of a little bit like very lackluster ending.
Yeah.
Especially considering like I for the most part like I was invested in the story and I liked how we got a bit more information about Bode before you eventually go into the final battle with him. I liked that because we usually just get you're the villain bad guy bang now we're final battle right there. So I liked a little bit of time in between. I did
Yeah.
like that. But
I
you
I
are
should
right.
have just
It is very
started.
vanilla.
I should have just started this talking about it as if we all beat it. I didn't want to. Like I was struggling also with like, is this enough time to just talk about the ending?
Sure.
Because like,
We all beat it.
okay, all right. So then, long story short, 2 sentences maximum: the seer battle or fighting like Darth Man. I'm just
Yep.
gonna say Darth Man, Darth Vader. Like he should have been towards the
Yeah.
end. Cause like I got that high from Seer. I got the high from not having as much health when you had Seer,
Yep.
as I did with Cal. And that's what made the battle inevitably tougher. And like I enjoyed that what I'm going to consider Dark Souls-esque of that. I don't know how long it took you guys to beat that Darth Vader, but I'm telling you, having 4 of the health thingies and not having Seer's battle motions down pat,
Yeah.
that was a rough boss for me. And then not that Bode was like super easy, but like holy cow, like
Yep.
I was on high after that, and then the Bode battle just took me back down to earth.
Yeah. I have the Darth Vader thing as one of my like favorite surprises so far this year. I have it
Mhm.
written down. Like I just
Wasn't
thought it
sure
was
if he was
cool.
showing.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, I'm not Cal. What's going on? Oh, okay, this is actually kind of cool. Even before that, like when you're outside and you're like fighting everything, I just thought it was very well done.
Yeah, it's
Um,
refreshing.
yeah, and then you just go to the ending. That's whatever.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, stuff we watched this week. I have now completed the trifecta of watching John Wick 4.
Hey,
I then sat down and binged the heck out of The Bear season 2,
hmm
and
I
I finished it.
I have 2 more episodes in season 2 of The Bear, so I'm almost done. I watched the movie Wrath of Becky. And then, believe it or not, everybody, we are going to take a trip over into Barry's Corner because I watched High Rise Invasion.
Really?
I did. I
That's
did.
what you watched?
Yep, I
It
did.
wasn't
Look at
like
the judging face.
Oh
it
man, I
wasn't
watched
like
High Rise Invasion, guys.
it wasn't like Demon Slayer like season 2 that you
Mm-mm.
that you should be finishing. It's
Nope.
High Rise.
High Rise
Jesus
Invasion.
Christ! I
High
was so
Rise.
happy. I was so happy until you told me that.
High
Oh
Uh,
rises,
man,
zero dawn.
apparently Barry doesn't like High Rise. Anyway, Craig, what'd you
you
watch?
told me to watch that as a meme.
High Rise.
Yeah, but go ahead and let's have Craig talk about what he watched. This should be
It's
interesting.
not a lot for me. I
Okay.
watched the first episode of Black Mirror. I'm just trying after the first episode, I think I'm trying to elongate the series for myself. And also like sometimes Black Mirror does take away my faith in humanity. And then I am probably the earliest in the Bear season 2 out of all 3 of us. I'm only episode 2 and I'm sorry, but we could all talk about that together. Those are the 2 things
Mhm.
I watched.
Okay. Yeah, we can just avoid spoilers.
Yeah, I will attempt to avoid spoilers best I can.
Okay. Do it.
Yeah, so the Bear season 2. What I really liked about the Bear season 2 is that it is more of the characters that we kind of really love in this one. Though I will say, like, season looking back at it now, season 1 is a lot more personal to me in my like 8 to 7 years of working in a restaurant.
Yeah.
uh, Never before did I have to build like they're building their own restaurant, and it's very obvious. That's not a spoiler to either of you two or in the trailers
Yep.
for the most part. So, but it's just a step up because they're trying to build a fine dining, restaurant. So
Yeah.
something more along the lines of what Carmi wants. And overall, like this season, like it does a really good job of when it's diving deep into its characters. I really liked learning more about Tina, more about Richie. Those are the two that seem to be getting a little bit more of the highlight for this. Like Carmi is a part of this. Oh, and Sydney.
Yeah.
Sydney gets a bigger role in this one too.
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully
Overall,
so.
I do really like love this series. It is probably going to be one of my favorites of the year, and is climbing like my favorites of all time, even after watching it. I can't wait for you guys to get a little bit further. Craig, I know you watched it. Seven Fishes
Yeah.
is it is
Crazy.
it is a ride,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it is a lot. I think for anybody who knows about like family dinners and stuff, you're gonna be right at
Italian family dinner.
Italian
specifically.
family dinners. You're
Yep.
going to be right at home with that. That episode, like even for me, like I finished watching, I was like, man, that's a lot. Like,
Hmm.
and everybody just and I should mention, everybody does a fantastic job of acting in here. All of the guest appearances you guys will see are really good, and I like the series. I do personally like one a little bit better than two, just because I
Same.
connect with it a bit more. But I do think people are going to really like season two as well. And according to critics and according to all the reviews, season two is like a really good follow up to what season one was.
Um, so up until episode 5, which is that dinner episode, right? 5, 6,
I think it's six. I think it's
6. Okay.
six.
All right. So the first 5, before you get to that, I hated it.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it. I was like, this is terrible. This is not what I wanted from. See, it just seemed like they went so far away from what I liked about the first one. Like that first season was like chaos and everybody's trying to make this
Kitchen.
restaurant kitchen work, and like I was all about that. And then like those first 5 episodes, I'm like, oh my god, it's literally just everybody yelling over each other, arguing, and just being obnoxious. And I was like, this is so bad. This is not what I wanted. Then when I got to the dinner episode, it's been changing. Now I'm like, okay, it's good. But man, yeah, those first 5 episodes for me, I was like struggling. I was like, I do not like this at all. It just felt like that first season is written so well, and just for me, that those first couple episodes, I just didn't think were. It's just like I said, it's just everybody yelling
Yeah.
constantly at each
Yeah.
other. Just you can't even understand half the time what people are saying, because it's just like top of their lungs screaming at each other and like, oh my god, fix this, go fix this. I'm like, everybody just relax. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the feeling they want you to get, like the chaos of trying to get this restaurant up and running in time, and everybody's freaking out. Like they're doing a good job of getting that point across. And for me, it has switched. I'm like, all right, I really do like this season now. But I was like so nervous those when I first started. I was like, oh man, am I going to be like, you should have ended this at season 1? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
We'll have to wait till I finish, because maybe I'll still feel that way. I'll be like, ah, you
Yeah, I
probably
want
should
to
have
see how
left
you
it.
feel after the end of
Yeah.
season two,
yeah,
for
I
sure.
do
And
as well.
I do
Yeah.
agree that the turning point for me was Seven Fishes
Yep.
as well. Like
Yep.
I really wasn't sure where we were going
Yeah.
with it, but then but then Seven Fishes, and I know we're hyping it up. It is an episode that it just like really enthralls you. It gets you involved.
And it's just
Um,
yelling
yeah.
also.
Oh, it is a lot.
It's just constant yelling for an hour. That episode's an hour of people yelling at each other. So like it is what the first couple episodes were, but it works. Like the way they do it works.
Yeah,
I
hopefully we talk more
Yeah.
about it next week with more spoilers involved. But yeah,
Yeah.
2 episodes in, Craig, you were definitely the freshest
Yeah, you
of
are.
all the fish.
yeah. But like I see where you guys are going. I think that my issue with the season is that I went in with the expectations of season 1. I think I had to like let that drop because I forgot where we were. And then I quickly, first 5 minutes, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. We got money now, and we're trying to figure out how to essentially expand the operation by building a new restaurant and such like that." But I think that the characters are what is the rooted nature of it. Sydney Richie's a heck of a personality, and then
No,
obviously Carmi.
Nick.
Richie?
Yeah,
What?
Richie. Richie is a
Yeah,
personality. That is,
He
yeah.
is. I can't stand him.
yeah, but like that's it's just such deep rooted. He's just a man baby,
I just
at heart.
cannot stand him.
But I can't wait to get further. That's what I'll say. I can't wait to just. I think I'm gonna binge it. I think what happened, my wife and I forgot after we watched the initial 2 episodes. The next day or two, we just watched something else and like forgot to get back to it. So
Hmm.
I'm excited. You know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people will agree that season one is better.
Yep.
But I think that's because it speaks to a lot of us in the restaurant business, and Craig and I know about it. Like
Yeah.
it's personal.
Hmm.
Season one, to where I still think very fondly about season one, and this one it steers away, I think, from the connectability, unless you are someone in high dining, and
Right.
then which I could totally see, like the
Yep.
connectivity when you go to there. It's just like for me, if they make a season three, like how do you now? What's the next step? Is it like ultra fine dining? Is it
Right.
like the
Michelin
that's what it
stars, a million Michelin
exactly.
stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it
Gordon
seems like
Ramsay.
the next
Yep.
step. Yeah, but
Hmm.
overall, yeah, I'm interested to see how you guys feel about the ending because I'm
I'll probably have it finished like today.
yeah,
That's my plan.
I'm mixed. I'm
Yeah.
mixed on the ending, so I want to see
Okay.
what you guys think.
Sure.
But yeah,
Craig.
well here
Craig.
I'll
What?
just
What? No.
No, I want to hear this anime. It
No.
got Barry
Barry,
so
what else did
upset.
you watch?
oh I was
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna say John
sorry.
quickly with John Wick 4,
Yeah.
one of the best action movies I've ever seen
Thank
in
you.
probably my top 3.
Yeah.
I'm glad I finally watched it and everything like that. Uh, overall, just I have a hard time thinking about movies that like you get one that builds on two, that builds on three, and then builds to a four, and they're all really good movies. They aren't like one doesn't take a big slump after another. They just continue to build until you get to four, and it's this really satisfying portion. But like you guys are absolutely right. Like um the Japan scene is so
Yeah.
much fun,
Oh
and
my god. Yes.
it is all over the
It's
place.
so good.
Yeah, like I ended up really liking the actress that plays
Yep.
the hotel like concierge.
I
I
want
think
them
it's
to
her.
I want them to push her as the main character moving forward.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I would hope for too. I just think she's such a badass and so cool.
Hmm.
Um, I like everything that they did. I like that. He John Wick Baba Yaga is true to his name there, and it is really fun to watch them. And I feel like we got a little bit more world building than I even expected, like in this movie too, because the more
Yeah.
like I'm watching it, the more I realize, oh, these are like the subtle things that are different from like let's say our universe compared to the John Wick universe
Hmm.
overall. But
Mm-hmm.
Keanu Reeves does a really fun time. I'm interested to see like what kind of Academy Awards or Emmys that this movie wins, just
None.
because
Yeah.
that's what I feel like. I feel like
Yeah.
it's not going to win anything, even though despite like it is one of the best action movies I've ever seen,
Hmm.
and I look forward to rewatching a lot of the John Wick trilogy there. And I know you talked about it last week. I think maybe next week I'll have a list of like my best action movies,
There you
maybe
go.
like a top 5 that I
Hmm.
can think of. But I need a minute to go through the action movies I've seen in my lifetime, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, that one was really good, that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Would you consider the Bourne series to be not a contender,
Yeah,
but like something that it has successfully built off of each movie to get a
No.
I don't know. Like I'm really stretching to try to find something that's comparable to John Wick's building,
The Matrix.
where it's just like,
but the last movie was I don't know. The last movie
Yeah.
isn't the greatest, is what I'll say. But the original, that original ones that you're talking about, I
Hmm.
absolutely agree with.
Right.
yeah,
Just don't make like a reboot of John Wick. I guess that's what we're saying. You can keep
Yeah.
it the
no,
way
there's
No.
it
no
is.
need.
The amount of bullets that are blocked by suit coats, it's just insane.
I know it's just this. It's
Just
just this
constantly. Like, all
the
right,
whole
I can
time.
suspend a lot of disbelief when I'm watching a movie, but the sheer amount of bullets that not just him, but like the enemies block with their suit coats is insane. It's like their answer to everything is just huh. It's so dumb.
It really is. But it's dumb fun.
Yeah, it's dumb. Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
I like about it.
John Wick trying to figure out how to circumvent that was half the fun. He just like
Mhm.
points his gun like
Yep. So
around
they go
where like the
around.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Oh my god. Yeah, definitely like for sure top 5 action movie of all time for me, probably top 3. I really do have to
definitely.
think about it and shuffle some stuff around to
Agreed.
see where it ends up. Um okay, Wrath of Becky. I don't know if either of you, Craig, did you watch Becky? Came
I
out a
did.
couple of years ago. Okay. I was watching this and I didn't even realize until I started that it was like a sequel to Becky. I had no idea. Becky had was about a girl who is with her dad and their home gets invaded by Nazis. Kevin James is the leader of the Nazis. And she's like, what, like 12 or 13 in the original movie. And it's basically Home Alone, but her like killing all these Nazis in her house, but it's extremely bloody. So Wrath of Becky, we're back a couple years later. She's much older. She's a teenager now, and she's dealing with oh man, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name, but he was Stifler in American Pie. Sean William Scott. Is that right?
Sean Patrick Scott.
Yeah. But
Sean,
anyway,
no, Neil Patrick Harris, Sean William Scott. You're right.
Sean William Scott is the leader of what you could essentially just call, they're called a different name in the movie, but they're Proud Boys. And kind of along the lines of John Wick, she works at a diner. They come into the diner. They disrespect her, so she dumps coffee on his lap. They steal her dog, which you don't do if you've watched John Wick. You don't mess with a
or
person's
any
dog.
movie, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't mess with a person's dog.
Sifu.
And yeah, Sifu as well. It kind of along the same lines. It's her taking out all these Proud Boys. More of the same. I really enjoy these movies. I think they're hilarious. The way she kills people is even more creative. It's just a good time. So if it's you like that, like dumb, I wouldn't call it horror. I guess just kind of a action comedy, but extremely bloody. This is for you. I just didn't hear anything about this movie whatsoever. It was just like, oh, it's up to stream. Okay, I'll check it out. And I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll say that's a watch.
What's it on?
I don't remember. I can look it up and find out for you.
Okay.
So Barry, let's go over to High Rise Invasion.
Let's go into Barry's anime corner.
All right. So this came out a couple years ago, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie. Here's what happened. Here's how I ended up in this show. Is this was before The Bear came out, and I was just trying to find something to watch. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? I haven't tried a random anime in a while. So I went to Netflix and I was like going through all the Netflix animes, and that's the one I ended up on. That's why I had no like, I didn't seek this out. I was just scrolling through and I was like, that one looks interesting, and I started watching it. Do you not like this anime, Barry? It's like it's popular, right?
It's I don't know about popular.
Okay.
It definitely like adheres to like the action and
Craig, have you watched this as well?
I have not. I'm just loving.
It's
Gary's
not a
face
Food
right
Wars.
now.
It's not a Food Wars.
Okay. The best way for me to explain it, shortest way to explain it is they get transported to this universe where they're on top of buildings and they're being chased by people with masks on that won't kill them, but are trying to influence them to commit suicide and jump off the buildings. And like, that's the simplest way to explain it. There's stuff with like angels and gods going on. It's wild.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot going on. I will say, like, this is not a Food War situation, but this was 100% written and drawn by horny men.
Yep.
100%. Because man, the amount of like, I mean, they're all running around in schoolgirl skirts, right? The amount of times where like they're getting in a fight and they'll be like, I would cut you with my sword, but I cut your shirt. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff going on, or I cut your skirt. Yeah. Oh no. And the amount of times that the main character like conveniently has to use her shirt and take it off to like do something is just over the top. I don't hate it though. Like it was enjoyable, right? And it's kind of, there's a cliffhanger at the end. I was like, oh, they're obviously going to make another season, I would assume. I'd probably
like a building hanger.
Yeah. I didn't hate my time with it. I was like, God, this is like pretty much what I expect when I pick a random anime. This is what I expect. Schoolgirls running around. It's extremely gory, extremely. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is like something I would expect to see coming out of Japan, written by horny old men. But I enjoyed my time with it. Seems like Barry doesn't like it as much as I probably did, but like for a random picking of an anime, I guess I could have done worse. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure. You could have definitely.
I think
there is a lot of bad on Netflix. I'll be completely honest with you. There is a lot of bad more than there is good. And High Rise Invasion, I will admit, is not like bad. It is not, capital BAD or not, I lean more toward the okay for it. Now, I did want to ask,
what surprised?
What made you decide to finish this? Like, did a new season come out?
No. I was just like I said, I was scrolling through and I was like picking and reading like the descriptions. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Like she's stuck on a building and she has to figure out a way to get back. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could get down with that. It seemed very action oriented. And I was like, you know what? That's what I'm looking for. Just like something that's like I can have on in the background when I'm doing something and like half pay attention to, but also like I can hear it. And like the action was entertaining enough for me to continue to watch it. That's why I was like, oh, that was
Okay.
a cool way to kill that person. Like I enjoyed all the different people with masks, like their different abilities. I thought was cool. Like you had
Hmm.
like the baseball player who's like throwing was like like
Yeah.
cannonballs or something.
Yeah.
Like and you have like the sniper and like all. I just thought it was interesting. Like it something I haven't really seen before. Like it's almost like I looked at it as like this could have been a movie, like a live action movie that I would have watched.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Right?
could say that would. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
translate pretty well. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. There's worse ways to spend. What was it 10 episodes, 30 minutes, 6 hours, 2 hour and I don't know, whatever. Yeah, 5 hours.
Yeah. I just remember years ago, like you would, hey, watch this, watch the first couple episodes, and I've
Mhm.
I've watched through three. Maybe I just, you know what? I will make a commitment over this week as long
You're
as
gonna
I
watch
still
it?
get final. Yeah, I'll finish
Okay.
it. I'll finish
Yeah.
it if as before I get Final Fantasy 16. We'll see what happens. Do I get
It's
16 first, or do I finish this
it
first?
just like it
Oh my
reminded
god.
me like watching through this because like I watched more anime when I was like in high school, right? More than just like everybody watched Dragon Ball, but like there was other stuff I branched out to, but it just reminded me of like, oh yeah, this is what I used to remember from anime at the time where it was like like there's two girls that partner up together and they're like having their normal talk about God knows what. And like they're just talking and the one girl's talking and then it pans over and I'm like, and her shirt is off. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just like for no reason. Like that's the anime I remember. There it is. Just some of the stuff they do makes no sense whatsoever. Other than they just wanted to draw it that way, I guess. But it's
Good lord.
Man,
entertaining. You should
I
finish
kn-
it.
I would have never thought we would go back to High
High
Rise
rise.
Invasion if anything.
All right, you
If
both
That
need
was
there's
to watch.
any
You
fantastic.
anime.
both can watch it this week. Then, how about that? We can have a high rise discussion.
But there's so much better stuff I
Sure.
could get you guys to watch.
No, you have to watch this first, and then I'll try something else. How about that?
Deal.
All
Deal.
right.
Easily deal. I will
All
take
right.
that deal.
You watch that, and then you can recommend something, and I'll let you know if I like it or not.
I'll try to find something similar within the 10 or 12 space so that
But
way
I
it's
will not fall down the hole of watching anime all the time. That you'll never see me with a Crunchyroll subscription.
yeah,
Oh, you wouldn't need
people
it.
just people just bump mine. That's
Just
it.
use yeah.
Or my
It
high dive
honestly,
at this
in
point.
all honesty, what really started it too was I was looking for Demon Slayer season 2, and
Now it's making sense.
and
Now the
then I
wheels
was
are
like, oh,
turning.
I should probably watch that. I haven't watched it, and then I stumbled onto this first. I was like, I'll just check this out instead.
I'll just do this one
Yeah,
first.
it's fine, whatever.
That's
Demon
fine.
Slayer's not going anywhere.
You're right. You should absolutely finish that next season though. Absolutely
Okay,
finish that season. For Demon Slayer, the one that's on Netflix.
that's fair.
Very well. Very good. All right then. Craig, what'd you watch?
I'll just finish Black Mirror and then I'll talk
Yeah.
about because like you did a
Okay.
great job talking about the first episode last week, and that's the only one I watched. So I'll just kill the other four, and then we'll chat.
Well, now we have to watch High Rise Invasion as well, and then
Yes.
I can name the next podcast the anime episode. I
Oh
guess.
God.
Uh,
I mean, Final Fantasy could be considered anime as well.
oh, it is.
Yes.
Oh, that's
It's
one of the more
super
anime
anime.
games. Yeah,
Yep.
we
I
all
thought it was
play.
survival horror, not.
But that works for me. I just want to thank everybody for listening. Please make sure to review it on your podcast listening platform of choice. Share it on your social media or with friends, depending on what you want to do. If you're listening on YouTube, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. As to why I'm missing the point that High Rise Invasion is this cultural genius that I'll never understand.
Yep.
I would appreciate somebody correcting me on that. So
or the ranking of Metal Gear Solids. Don't forget.
or
to
yeah, I
tell
would
us
take the
about
ranking.
that.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'd love to hear people who hate 4. I want to hear people who
It's
hate
not
4.
just me.
I know it's
Oh
not.
God.
But thank you everybody for watching and the support that you give us. We will see you guys next time.
See you later.
Bye. Botching
Bye,
intros.
guys.
That's the outros. We love it.